on, everybody, to my third chess stream in a row, continuing this saga of trying to get to 1,000 elo in every single rating. Just a moment, I gotta pull up the common stuff here. I thought I was prepared, and yet there's one detail always. There we go. Okay. So, hello! If you're just new tuning into the stream, somehow, yeah, I recently got 1,000 elo on daily games for chess, and now I'm trying to do the same for every single time rating of Rapid, Bullet, and Blitz, starting with Rapid. I have not played any games on Rapid settings since last week's stream. That wasn't intentional. I had other things going on this week that I wanted to take care of, so here we are. I'm going to add this into the stream comments, but before we begin, please, I will not be reading through chat during my games, so if you have any suggestions for better moves I could have made, please include the move/turn number in your suggestion, and I'll go back and look at them in my post-game self-analysis. There we go. And that should be sent out to both the Twitch and YouTube chats, but I'm definitely going to have to repeat that because I've had to do it before. Yeah, not much else to say here. I don't really have any updates or anything because I haven't played since last stream. I guess I will. I'll recap what happened last time. So we played, I think it was like 7 matches. Yeah, because it's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 of them ended in draws, and then I won 3 others. And honestly, I should have lost or won, I think, all of these draws. And it was just both my opponent and me not being able to figure out how to get the checkmate going. So hopefully, going into this week, still no losses on stream yet. That might change today, but I'm hoping that I can stay sharp and keep up some good play. We're going into Rapid, 10 minutes, and just starting up. Just starting up. I think I'm hitting start game. Hello? Oh. Alright, there we go. We're gonna go with a birds opening here. I feel like I should try to study more of the bird opening if it's something I want to go with more full time. But I just like the idea of like unconventionally trying to attack the center with this pawn. Gonna put. I don't want to put my knight up here because then this pawn could come down and just like fork with this knight protecting it. So instead, I'm actually going to move this pawn up first. That does create a little weird situation here, but I think this is going to work out okay for now. Just to start us off. Okay. What other development do I need? Queen can go out somewhere, but not somewhere that would be threatened, like here. So maybe queen up here for now. Or I move the pawn up here first, and then go for this kind of idea. Because now your knight can't just sit here and threaten. Okay, that's where you were going with it. I didn't see that threat. Well, you've taken a pawn. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. And I definitely don't want to trade off like that and then just have the queen threatened. So I'm going to take this opportunity to just castle. Now if you do it, it's a check and I'll be forced to take the bishop. Not forced, but, you know, pushed to do so. And you castle as well. Okay. Let's... Why don't I threaten this knight here? Because if you go down here, that's still a vulnerable spot. Yeah, let's do this. See what kind of ideas we can pull off from here. Alright, cool. I'll just take back. That's fine. I anticipated that trade happening. And now you move your knight up here to try and protect it. My guess is you're going to move that knight down here if I, you know, move my pawn up. And then the queen's just threatening against that too. What can I do to kind of keep the knight here? I mean, I could just... What if I put the bishop up here? Because now if you attack, that opens up my bishop even more. And if I move the pawn up, then my bishop is still on a pretty good diagonal for future attacks and moves. Trying to understand this move. I think I should just move my knight up, get the last bit of development out here, and then start getting my rooks into the game more. Feels like the best play. Let's see. Opponent is taking a bit of time on this one and decides to push up their own pawn. Okay. I think this is interesting, but I also think it could be a mistake for the opponent. Because if I push this pawn up, that's an attacker on this space. And I also have this queen and knight defending that square. I could push this rook over here too to try and do something there, but I think it's more important to get some initiative on this square to try and break up this side of the board. Yeah, like that. And then take with queen or knight. I think I like taking with the knight more, but taking with the queen locks down this knight to the queen. I'll take with queen. Okay, they instantly moved over here. I'm just going to move my rook here and threaten mate, and we'll see what they do from there. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. If I move this knight to hop over here and like attack there, I think that's a good move. Yeah, this opponent is playing super aggressive, but they do have a good defending idea here, not gonna lie. Unfortunately, that does blunder this knight here, because now there's no defender. And I could get this other rook moved in to support another rank to try and checkmate on. I mean, I get the idea with this move. I don't know if that's important to me, though, because I could just move my rook here and threaten another mate, or, you know, get the... Yeah, I'll move my rook over. Maybe I should be a little more Like, maybe I could have traded that, because now if you come this way... Well, I mean, if you do that, I'll just move my queen up and check. And then you're forced down that way. And then I could do like a... Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. You're running scared already. If I take this pawn now, that's all of these squares unavailable. You have to move down or up. And I think either way, that's like a winning kind of checkmate for me, right? I think I can find a way to checkmate in a few moves here. Hold on. Okay. And then what if I... Okay, because the knight is here. That's the big thing that's stopping me from just checkmating here. But what if... Do I want to take, like, knight here? Do I want to push up a rook and check and then force this kind of play? Because this knight is still here to support. Yeah, I think I want to do this. If you take with the knight, and then that's mate. All right. Cool. Cool, I did it. That was a smooth game. Nice game one. Found a good checkmating idea. All the way from... I mean, I didn't have the exact move for checkmate, but the moment that my opponent moved this pawn, this is the moment that I realized that I could convert the position into a victory. Because all I had to do was get rid of this little pawn structure and keep pushing up the rest of my pieces to find like a mate eventually. And, you know, get these rooks on the side of the board too. Yeah, at that point it was just pure offensive play for me, so good first win. No comments from anyone on this match, which is fine. I don't think I need to reflect on it too much more. I think I got the idea of what things went wrong for my opponent and what went right for me. Maybe it's worth seeing if there was like a weakness in that plan. I'll actually go to self-analysis real quick. So it looks like, yeah, the position was slightly in Black's favor until the moment they made that move with the pawn. And then I was able to capitalize just more and more off of their inability to defend against all of this. Boom. Mate in 4 from here. Okay, wait, is that what I got? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit better than even the computer was thinking I would get. I guess, yeah, mate in 3. If they moved up, then it would have been in 3. That makes sense. Alright. I'm not going to reflect on that game too much more. Just a nice solid win to start out the stream, and we're going to move into game number 2 out of somewhere between 5 and 10. Hello? Chess.com, hello? There we go. I think there's a weird delay going on with the matchmaking stuff, but I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Oh god, this opponent is okay. Their connection was looking very questionable for a moment there, but I think we're still in it. Okay, yep. Starting off smooth with another Caro-Kann defense. If my mic quality sounds different compared to how it's been in the past few streams, that's because I am actually using just my laptop microphone this time. My main microphone has not been connecting over the last few days. I think it's repairable. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I just haven't really taken the time to try and fix it, if I'm honest. Okay, knight over to here. What is your idea? Like, what are you trying to do from here? Just control more of my space for development? Is there a specific attack that you have in mind? I don't really think so. I don't see a huge attacking idea from here with just the knight. Like, maybe if you get one of your bishops in play, that's something that's a bit more sketchy. Especially bishop to here. But I think I'm just going to move a pawn up here just to prevent the bishop from checking and getting away with that. Actually, that might have been the idea. If you move here and then I block, and then you can just take, and you win a knight in that scenario. I think that was the full idea. Just threaten that rook. And threaten the knight. Okay, your knight's moved back. We are going to keep fighting for control of the center. I think that was a blunder, because now you can just take like that. Oh, okay, never mind. What is my move from this position? Let's think on that for a moment. Because I could trade off, and then that frees up the rook a bit more, but the rook's already got a pretty nice file going on. I think I will trade the bishops. This early on, it doesn't feel like a bad idea. And then I'll just move this pawn up to stop it from being taken. And that's fine. I don't really mind that move. I think I need to get a knight up here. Honestly, I just need to develop the rest of my pieces. I've only got pawns out here now, and that's not looking like a great game plan long term, of course. At the same time, which pieces do I move first? I think I want to get my knight on this side out first. And now you're forking between my queen and bishop. Okay. I'm going to move my queen up here. Because if you try to go for like another fork this way, I could just stop that. Alright, that's fine. I don't want to let go of this square, because then the queen just jumps in there. So I don't want to take like that, but it sucks to lose the castling rights. But it's what I'm going to have to do. Like, I don't really see another option. This is a very strange position. I don't think I'm winning it, per se. But it doesn't feel like it's entirely against me either. I don't know. I'm going to move this pawn up. Oh, okay. I guess you're just going to take that pawn. I was a little slow to getting this knight out here. But I guess now I'll get the knight out here. And we'll... actually, we're going to take your queen. Because you just left your queen open. And now we're going to queen trade, and I'll take your knight. And that keeps the game looking pretty even. material-wise. This is a very, very strange position. I need to get my rooks involved, and I need to start focusing on promotion somehow. My pawns are very scattered. And I have less of them than my opponent does. But I think there's a position where I could still pull through here with my pawns. I'm going to move up on this side to help free this rook more too. And then maybe move my king up with these 2 pawns, 3 pawns. Yeah. Just gonna keep moving up here. And now you're pushing your pawns. That makes sense. If I go here and then you take... what's the idea? Maybe if I move my knight in here and then like go... No, that doesn't really help either. I'm gonna move this pawn up. I don't think it's the worst thing if we trade like this, and then I keep my king close to this pawn here in the center. This area is still contested, but now I can move my knight in. Okay. Now my knight's being threatened. Shoot. Well, honestly, if you're willing to trade that rook for a knight, I would be willing to make that trade at this point in the game. Yeah. I think that's just how I have to look at it, and then start pushing this pawn up. I need to get these rooks off of the corners at some point, though. I just don't know where to put them yet. Maybe this rook to here and then attack up there kind of idea. Okay, buddy. Sheesh. Okay, I'm losing this knight for sure now. Yeah, that was not great to defend it like that with my king. I don't know what I was thinking there. Well, good news is I could threaten this rook now without the risk of this pawn. Let's just keep it moving. I'm running out of time because I've just been spending too much trying to BS a plan. This opponent clearly has more of a plan than me when it comes to the navigating this kind of offensive endgame. Okay, how do I want to deal with this? Like, start going after these pawns instead? Okay. Push up. That's... okay. Huh. And I don't really know what to do from here. Because if you just push this piece up now, my rook is kind of trapped in. And I don't have a huge plan to get out of that. Yeah, no, this is just a losing position straight up. Is there a way for me to convert it in any way? Like, any way possible? Let me move this rook back down just to steer clear of these pawns. Okay. Well, that gets forked. Yeah. Do I just resign? No. I can keep playing until they try to checkmate me or I run out of time. But it's looking less and less likely that I'm going to make anything out of this position the longer this goes on. Okay, cat. Felice, please. Please don't. No. Felice, please, I need to see the board. Oh my gosh, this cat is blocking me from seeing the board right now. She's messing with my monitor. Okay, here we go. Felice, please. Yeah, I'm not making anything out of this position. Honestly, I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to just resign here. There's nothing I can really do. There's so many passed pawns on the opponent's side, and I only have so much time left. There's no way I'm going to win this. I guess I could hope for a stalemate again. And that's honestly what I'm going for now. Just stalemating again. Somehow. It's not going to happen, but, you know, I can still dream. Yeah, I mean, this is just a walk of shame at this point, man. Just let them checkmate me. That's the plan. Let them checkmate or stalemate. That's probably mate in one, eh? Yeah, there you go. Alright, the first checkmate on one of these streams. Fair enough. It had to happen eventually. I'm just trying to figure out where that position fell apart. Where did that position fall apart? Let's go to self-analysis real quick. I want to see what the bot thinks of it. Because I started out with the Caro-Kann. This is a pretty standard way to open up. But then the knight went here, and I was starting to get really unfamiliar with what to do from here. I don't think I've encountered the knight moving to the center too often. I think I was right with this pawn play. The idea that they wanted to move their bishop in here to check the king. And then I would have had to defend with the knight or the bishop if this pawn wasn't here. And then, you know, take, and they win off, they win a major piece in that exchange somehow. And then this move happens, and I move my bishop in closer, and the position is equaling out for my opponent more. Although I had a slight tempo there, I guess. Keeping my pawns in the center was nice. Trading off the bishops early was good. This is apparently not as good. And then, yeah, I just got straight up forked here. I think... I mean, I don't know. Like, this was such a wacky game overall. I'm not entirely sure where in this position things could have gone better for me. Like, maybe... I think the biggest thing I did wrong was not getting my rooks activated into the center of the board earlier. I think that was it, because by this point, I'm focusing on trying to get my pawns up, but then, like, my opponent already has 2 rooks off the corners and engaged in the game and is able to use that against me. This apparently was a big blunder. What? How? Oh, I missed en passant. Oh, That would have been... I missed en passant. I usually don't. I feel like that's something I've been able to proud myself on, but that would have been a deadly en passant move. Holy crap. That could have won me the game. That is something that I... Oh. Okay. No, I definitely see where things could have turned around for me now. I mean, earlier, I definitely should have had my rooks out too. That would have helped a lot, but missing this en passant definitely sealed my fate of, like, my chances of getting into an end game where I could win. Dang. Okay, well, that's a learning lesson there. We're gonna go back into the matchmaking and start up game 3. Back down to 915, had 1 win, 1 loss this stream. We haven't dipped down below 915, thank God. There we go. Playing as black once again. We got Queen's pawn opening. Okay. I'm gonna... I guess I'll just try fighting for the center again. They're going for a London. That's... Nope. Kind of expected. I don't really know a good way to fight against a London system, but... You know, every opportunity to face it is another opportunity to learn. Let's see. How's about I just try threatening that bishop right away? Okay. I mean, I'm still threatening that bishop. I don't care what you're doing with that knight. I imagine you want to get this knight in and then, you know, have the two kind of protect each other. But now I'm threatening to, like, isolate the position entirely. Okay, don't move the knight here, because then that rook is threatened. In fact, maybe I should move my rook over to the side. Or get my bishop up here to threaten the knight. Yeah. I think, maybe not to threaten the knight, but I think putting my bishop up here makes sense for the position. Let's trade bishops. You get your queen out, that's okay. I mean, not the greatest, obviously, but I think it's okay. Okay. Take that bishop, and you'll castle on that side. So I'm going to castle the opposite direction. Where am I going to move my queen to? I could either go here to this diagonal, up here to these diagonals. I mean, there's no... You don't have any bishops left. still have my dark squared bishop, so I could move the queen up here to give it more scope. This knight protects that square. So does this pawn. I'd say that's a pretty good move. Okay, I'm seeing the idea. You want to just threaten here. So we're going to push a pawn up first. Kind of stop that idea. Okay, and you moving the queen here stops me from being able to castle. That's tricky. How can I deal with this queen threat? Like the queen just sitting here on this side of the board. Is there any way that I can directly push the queen out? Not really. I guess I could do like a backup castling idea that way, but this isn't... I'm hoping to push these pawns up, so they're not going to really serve as a defensive position. This knight coming back here would threaten the queen, and I think that would be my best bet on getting a castle in. So I think that's going to be my move. because I do want a castle on this side. I just need to push the queen out. The queen could just back up to one of these squares, but then if I push a pawn up to block the queen's scope on this side, then I can still get my castling in. Okay, cool. No, I just get the castle straight up. That's good. Don't have to finagle with that anymore. Now my idea is going to be to push all these pawns up to get some sort of advantage on this side of the board. We're going to start by pushing up this pawn. Your knight's probably going to go here, if I had to guess. Just any square to go to. No, it actually backs the hell away. Okay. Alright, in that case, I'm going to move my rook into a center line with that pawn. You actually had a really nasty move like here. I just realized that. That could have been real nasty if you'd seen it. You might still see it, but now I think I'll just move my rook up one. Also, what are you doing on this side of the board? You got your own rook kind of facing down a similar sort of attack. That might be scary. Okay. Phew, what do I do about that? Because I could push this pawn up, right? But then what does that really do for me long term? If they don't take or whatever. And just push up with this idea. No, I feel like I have to keep pushing my pawns. I know that there's an attack happening on this side of the board and I gotta respect that. But I think I can still make do. But what if I want to push this pawn up to like stop something? But then like you could still go here. I'm going to move this pawn up to kind of help reinforce that square. I think that's a good idea. Okay, yeah, you're really pushing on that side of the board now. That's starting to scare me. I'm going to keep an assault going on my side too, just to try and put similar pressure on you. Okay. I'll just move this pawn up here to stop you from taking this way. And then I could push my queen. Or no, I'll take with the knight. Taking with the knight is perfectly fine here. Okay. Threatening my queen now. We're going to move the queen somewhere. Gonna move the queen here? Yeah. Okay. Keep up that attack on my side of the board. Okay. I think this is fine. Push up another pawn. Breakthrough. And now what? Now what? I didn't think that far ahead, did I? Okay, now I'll put my rook on this square. Take this pawn. If you take that, then I can push into this position more with my queen. I think that's my idea. Maybe like force a queen trade there. Ah, God. No, we're still moving with this. Take the queen, and then hit you with a check here with my rook. Okay. We're gonna move the king out of here. I definitely don't think I did that trade the right way. This position feels a lot weaker now, but I don't think it's unwinnable though. I just need to like find a way to like narrow down these pieces before this guy gets control of the board more. Maybe I can make more use out of these pawns. Like push that pawn up, for instance. That just lost me a rook. I wasn't thinking. Whatever. Keep the push. I'm definitely losing now. But I'm not gonna finish fighting until this player can prove they can checkmate me, you know? Okay. What do I do from here? I just got myself into an unnecessarily bad position. This bishop can't go anywhere with that knight in the way. That's all dangerous squares. But I can take this knight and then open up that pawn. Oh, okay, you just take with the rook. Okay, never mind. I don't even have to worry about that yet. I'm going to threaten this rook now because the defender for this square is gone. It's not going to be doing me too much good because you can easily just like threaten or get to safety like that, yeah. But it does buy me a little bit of time. Somehow my goal is to get these two pawns to move forward more. It's a real desperate kind of plan now. Like I don't have any. Ugh. This is just mate, isn't it? Like yeah, that's just straight up mate, man. Oh, dang, that's a real creative way to go out though. Okay, I think I can see where I lost that game. That one was pretty clear to me. Like the queen trade that I was trying to go for, right? Like even before the queen trade, I think I noticed this move was a similar attack onto my position. I had erroneous confidence in my ability to coordinate this attack better than they were coordinating their attack. Like this was pretty deadly against me. Having these two pawns 2 squares ahead and pushing against me, that was just a bad news. And then ignoring that pawn, I mean, I feel like that was an okay move because you had a lot of control over this square specifically, where if I took, it wasn't really going to do anything. And then this pawn would have just been opened up for going down the board. But then you take here, I take with the knight. I want to see what the computer thinks of some of this sequence. Okay, so down to here. Yeah, it's very overwhelmingly in favor of white. even at this point, because they're set up in a better attacking position than I am. And it's harder for me to defend because, partially because I have these doubled up pawns at this side of the board. That stopped me from being able to like move this queen over to like get an attack in. Clogged up a lot of plans for me moving on. Like, I think it was, I still had some sort of a chance here because my opponent was setting up a little bit more. I'm trying to think what a better move would have been in this position. No, that's not going to do it. Move this pawn up, maybe. Move this bishop over, maybe. I don't know, man. This just seems like such a lost position here already. It does even out. The moment that I get my pawn in here, things even out a bit. But then I got the wrong idea by trying to move this rook in and get the queen trade here. As soon as I executed this idea, yeah, that was when it was over, because I was down a rook. And I didn't need to be down a rook at this part of the game. Then I went down another knight and just fell apart. Alright, well, that's another loss on the stream. Another opportunity to try and learn to play better. Game number 4 coming on up. Badoop. There we go. I'm going to go with the London system myself, since it worked so well for my opponent last time and tends to do me well personally. Yeah, just keep things moving here. I don't like that move too much, but I could just take that pawn and not feel too bad about it. And then retreat my knight back, I think would be the better move, instead of trying to take another pawn. Maybe I could have been a bit more aggressive there, but I think I'm fine just leaving that move where it was. Finish out some of the development for this London system. Keep it a little ambiguous which side I'm going to castle on, but yeah, now we are getting set up for war. Okay, how do I play this? I think from here, I don't mind pushing this bishop or the knight up and then kind of asking about a trade, because if you don't take that trade, I'm going to take one of your 2 pieces here. That does open up the bishop, though, too. I'm going to ask this question still, if you want to trade or not. Okay, you do want to trade. We are going to push this bishop up. And then you castle on that side. So I'm going to castle the opposite direction and start focus on pawn push strategy again. Move this pawn first, since it's double defended against that bishop. This knight, we can trade knights, and I'll maintain control of the center. Oh, you took my bishop? Nah, that's fine. We'll just do a whole bunch of trading here. Okay, you're threatening a mate in 1. That's a pretty clear plan there, but I mean, I have that defended, so I'm not too worried about it. I could threaten the queen here too if I really wanted to. Do I need to? No. Is there any benefit to it? No. I'm going to move this queen here, though, because I think I want to take that pawn with the bishop instead of having to worry about some sort of defense here. You took that pawn, that's fine. Okay. And we're going to move further up with that pawn to support the bishop and maybe even get the queen in there to replace it. Everything else is really well defended on my side of the board. These rooks maybe could be a little more active, but I mean, this one's doing a perfectly good job here. This one is going to help defend me in the case of any sort of attack on the side of the board. Yeah, like I'm just going to... I feel like I can see the move that you're wanting to do there. And if you push there, then sure. But I'm still going to move this pawn up because that's just the better plan for me. Yep, that's your attack. I mean, at this point, if I can just move my bishop out of the way, I can win the game. Because now I just need to get your queen out of there. Yeah, I think I saw that rook move coming, honestly. You know, I can still just move my queen down like here and be fine. Not too scared of that move. I'm really curious what my opponent is going to think to do, because they have plenty of options to still disrupt the checkmating idea here. But I don't know if they're skilled enough to see it or to like give me enough run for my money on like an offensive counter plan. We are even in material. I mean, I'm up one pawn, but apart from that, it's really even game. Okay, interesting. You're just doubling up on that defense then, huh? Okay, how can I take advantage of that? Maybe by moving here and threatening this rook? Going for like a back rank thing instead? That could work. And if nothing else, then I win over a pawn. Yeah. Perfectly fine with just taking a pawn here. And continuing to advance towards this rook anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna threaten that rook a second time. Okay, king moves over there. How can I take advantage of this? Well, first, I could threaten the queen, right? Yeah, because even if you go down here, I'll just take your rook. I'm going to threaten the queen here. And then if you move your queen off of this file, then I mean, I just take that and win, unless you go here with the queen. That's like your one way to defend that square and keep it from being checkmate in one. And then from there I could just push this pawn up and threaten the queen once again to move from that spot. Oh, interesting. Now you want to trade the queens. What if I don't want to trade the queens? What if I just want to, like... I mean, I could check here and then force you to move it back or something. I don't know what that really does for me, though, in the long term. Yeah, I don't know what that really does for me in the long term. I can't take this pawn because that's defended. That would just be a blunder of the position. But I could... I mean, I will just push back on this again. Maybe we'll stalemate. Do I think I want to stalemate in this position? Is there something better I could do? Like, I could take the queen and then try to turn this into an endgame with 2 rooks. I'm going to do it. I'm not afraid to lose the queen. I think I still hold a very distinct advantage here because I have more pawns on this side of the board that I can use to try and like push up. So I am not afraid to do this. This is very much an endgame that I could find victory in. We're gonna push this rook over here. Defend that. Okay. And now we're gonna... I mean, do I really care about this rook anymore? Or this pawn, I mean? It was part of a checkmating plan that's not gonna be happening anymore. So I don't think I care about it anymore. We're gonna push this pawn up. Okay, sure, you can have 2 rooks there. That's perfectly fine. Makes it easier on me. We're just gonna push up this new pawn line to get a new queen and take over the whole board. That's the plan. Ah, Felice. No, 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 no. Stay off of there, cat. Okay, we're just gonna move up here. That's perfectly fine, because I can still come up here. No, Felice. You gotta stay off of there, Felice. You're okay. I don't know what my opponent can really do to like try and mate me or anything here. Like the pieces aren't coordinated enough to make an attack like that. Actually, could I do a mating attack? Hold on. No, shoot, that was a bad move. Putting the rook here. I shouldn't have done that then. Oh well. Losing a rook. I would like to blame this game on my my cat, but I know that's not going to be true. To why I was starting to lose this position. Okay. Yeah. Not too much else I can really do from here. You're just kind of bullying me around with the rooks. It's kind of rough. I got one pawn left to try and push up. Actually, hold on. If you take that pawn, I think this could be mate. Yes. I was looking and I was like, they're going to be so fixated on this becoming a queen. I could just move my rook onto this square. There's nothing to block it, and I win because you can't move up. You can't move up. And then this whole back rank is... That's... I love that. That's a good mate to win this game. Oh... Kitty. Yes, troublesome little kitty. She'll always stepping on stuff when I'm streaming. Although, to be fair, she's always stepping on stuff even when I'm not streaming. She's just kind of there. Also, hi, Dia. Thanks for watching in. Not many viewers on this stream, but I appreciate the consistent ones. That's going to be game 4 of the stream down. I think I'm going to go one more game and then just call this here. This will be a shorter stream. And not too much progress on the ELO either, but definitely some good learning lessons for chess. We'll go with King's Pawn opening this time. Hopefully turned it into, yeah, a Bishop's opening. I guess we got the Sicilian defense. I'm not too familiar with how to play against that, but perfectly okay with getting an early castling on this side of the board and 2 of my major pieces developed. From here, I'm going to be looking to expand my bishop and my knight out. Which one do I start with, knight or bishop? Well, I guess that kind of answers the question for me, huh? Move this bishop up here. Take with the queen. I imagine bishop up to here feels like a natural move to you, but that might not be the move that you take. I'm just thinking that because it stops my queen from being able to do more shenanigans. That's... I guess that's targeting this weakened bishop here? Is there a way I can defend against that? Or is there something else that I can do to like push up an attacking idea? Let's think. Why don't I just defend that space too with this knight? That works. Attack the queen, defend that space. Force your queen to move somewhere else. Yeah, back up there. That's fine with me. Okay, I have 2 units on that space. That's not enough to really coordinate an attack yet. So I'll push up a pawn. And then maybe get... Yeah, let's get this pawn up here too. Okay. Forking my knight. We're going to take that first. Let's get that pawn out of there. And now we can save the knight. At the expense of the bishop, of course. I guess I'll just trap that pawn in there. Or I could just take it and double up pawns on this side of the board. Not the greatest, but I don't think it's the worst thing at the moment. It does open up this file, which I could try to take advantage of with one of these rooks. Okay, we're just going to push up a pawn there and then lose my knight because I blundered it in one move. That's okay. Dang it. A messier day of chess, to be certain. But where's the fun otherwise? I want to stop this pawn from moving any further, so we're just going to push up. I know you're probably just going to take that pawn in response, yep. That's fine, probably. Rook's got to get out into the game now. There's literally no other option for me. I don't think I can trap the queen quite yet, but I could at least threaten her to get out of this space, like so. Yeah. Screw it. We're going to offer a queen trade. And now I'm down to just 2 rooks and a bunch of pawns to try and win this. To be fair, my opponent is only starting to develop a lot of their other pieces. So I think that is something that can work into my advantage. But it's not something I'm going to be banking on to win. I will start moving my king up because it does need to become an active unit in this endgame to try and achieve some sort of winning position out of all this. Okay. Gonna move that pawn up and take the trade. If they take it, they might not. What are you gonna do? Oh gosh, okay. Threatening this side. I guess the onus is on me to take, huh? Then my king can't move forward for now, but it's not the end of the world. Hey, Felice. Oh, that was mate. Oh, I was not paying enough attention to that. Okay, was it mate because I moved out there? I'm guessing it was. Like, obviously, you're still in a heavily winning position for most of this. I was just trying to figure out some sort of plan on how to push my pawns up further, and then this became mate in one, specifically because I moved into the enemy position more. If I had just used their pawn as a guard, like, that still isn't great for me, because they have moves like that. And then you could keep pushing to bring me down. But oh, okay. Well, not the greatest set of matches on this stream, but yeah. It's good to still get some repetition in, of course. I think I'm gonna end this stream earlier than I have on the other ones. I just wanted to get another weekly chess stream in today. We're ending off with 2 wins and 3 losses on this one. The first losses that I've had in this series on stream. Some learning opportunities for sure. But I want to spend the rest of my day doing some other stuff. So, thanks to everyone for tuning in for at least a little bit of this. And I'll see you next Sunday for hopefully a longer one. But yeah, 5 games on this stream. That's the minimum that I want to do for these Sunday streams. And I reached it. So I'm going to call it here. Hope you all have a nice Sunday and see y'all next week. Adios.